We've always talked about external rotation, internal rotation, all these like different zones, right? But the one thing people don't talk about is shoulder extension. Like how far do your arms travel behind you? And if you don't have the ability to get your elbow behind you, whether it's with the arm bent or with the arm straight, then you're gonna run into issues, okay? And if you're not able to lengthen like the front of your shoulder and your chest in shoulder extension, then you're gonna have a hard time engaging your pecs. You're gonna feel some weirdness in your shoulder joint because you're not able to get into that range. So the point of us doing this is showing you that there's more to your shoulder than doing internal rotation. External rotation, all that banded stuff, the sleeper stretch, that's all good tools, but shoulder extension never gets the same type of love. No one ever really trains that. So what I'm gonna have you do is get on your butt like this, and you are gonna do a tabletop. I'm sure you've seen it before. Right now, I have my hands forward like this. You notice you have your hands back. That's not wrong. You can do one or the other. So if I have my hands forward, right, and I start bringing myself up like this, I feel my chest stretching, right? Because all this tissue is lengthened. Now notice if I rotate my hands out, I am now externally rotated. If I rotate my hands in, I am now internally rotated. Let's start with your hands in, and what I want to see is your fingers splayed too. I like the idea of really opening up your hand and putting even pressure through it. Elbows locked out. I want you to pick your butt up and bring your chest to the roof. Yep, all the way up, all the way up. So you're trying to pick this up even more, chest tall, head back. Do you feel this stuff pulling as you drive your chest to the roof? Yep. You see how hard that is, right? And all we're doing is asking you to hold your body weight in shoulder extension. I'm gonna ask you to bring your hips down again, and then do this for repetitions, okay? So find a comfortable footing, find a comfortable hand position. If you can't be this internally rotated, right? If you're sitting here, you're like, damn, I can't really like get myself up, you can externally rotate and work where you can work, right? I'm trying to meet you in the middle wherever you are. So same deal, find your hand placement, find your foot placement. Extend the hips, think about picking your butt up, and get your chest to the roof. Chest to the roof, pull your spine away from my hand even more. Hold. You feel your pecs stretching there, front of your shoulder, bring the hips back down. Let's do a couple repetitions there. I'm gonna time you. And we're just gonna open up your pecs and shoulder extension. So again, get those hips up to the roof. Open up the front of the shoulder, all the way up, pick yourself up, pick yourself up. You're a big guy. This should be way easier than it is, man. You're strong. Come on, pick your hips up. There you go. Hold. 3, 2, 1, come back down. You notice how you're getting a little bit further with each rep though. Yeah. So that's why I'm being patient with you and I'm letting you kind of find it, right?
Feel the stretch, bro.
I bet. And so think about it. If you are restricted through here, this tissue doesn't want to pull, then your arm won't be able to travel behind you. And so that's where someone does like dips, right? They don't have shoulder extension, right? They do bench press and their arm like kind of dumps. They don't have shoulder extension. You can tell shoulder extension is not just tight, but it's weak, right? It's really restricted. So with each rep, just see, can I get a little bit further up, right? Let's go again. Pick that hip up. Yep, run away from me. Run away from me, even more. Squeeze the glutes, extend the hips with it too. Hold, 5, 4, good, run away from me. Run away from my hand, up, 3, 2, and 1, reset. You're gonna go again. It's all good. It's hard to tell I'm humbling you right now. I know, I know. It's hard. It's way harder than it looks.
And you would think that this shit is easy.
I know. Well, you know what's funny is you'll see some like yogi, right? Someone who's into yoga, and they'll just sit here and be like kind of mindlessly like this, and it's so easy for them. And then I started doing it, and I was like, wait, my shoulder extension's really, really weak here, and it's so simple. So again, let's do 2 more, and then we're gonna externally rotate and change the way we're training the shoulder. We're building up tolerance here, man. Yeah, if you are weak here, you're tight here, it's all good. Back up again. Hips to the roof, spine to the roof, chest tall. Run away from my hands. Get up higher. Yes. Hold. 5. Put your head back. 4. Up higher. Run away from my hand. 3. Keep those toes down. 2, 1. Relax. You got 1 more rep there.
Woo. Bro, that is
humbling. I know. You probably thought it was like kind of bullshit. You're like, there's no way that's gonna be all that hard.
That's gonna be easy as shit until I get up and hold that bitch, but I can definitely
feel a lot of stretch there. And also when you're in this position, I'm sure you feel like your tricep squeezing, the back of your shoulder squeezing. Because think about it, when you drive back, all this tissue is shortened. This side's stretched, this side's squeezed. So if you can squeeze all this stuff, like as I pull myself up, if I can squeeze my tricep and rear delt, that's gonna help stretch my pec more. Okay, so on this next rep, you got one more rep here. Keep your hand position the same way it was. You're already sweating from that. That's crazy.
Hey, bro. I already knew. That's why I put the band in.
Right. Got ahead of it.
I knew it.
So keep the toes flat this time.
I can
you can feel that you want to come up on your heels, right?
Because it helps me get up on my heels to try to get higher.
It does. And so let's be a little bit truer to what range of motion you have. Lock this down. Again.
Ready?
Yep. Hips up. Extend the spine. Head back. Get up higher. Higher. Come on, man. Pull from here. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Squeeze the butt. 2, 4. Yeah. 3, 2, and 1. So take a moment. You're gonna do the exact same thing, but we noticed with you couldn't have your hands rotated like this. You just don't have that much internal rotation. That's okay. So if you or a client or someone watching the video can't internally rotate this far, you're gonna rotate out a little bit. You can't do this, fine. Rotate here. Can't do this, rotate there. And then eventually you can go like super extreme with external rotation, right? And I have a feeling when we get here, what are you gonna have to do? Go in a little bit, right? Go in a little bit though. So I want you to do the same thing, but rotate out as far as you can. And see, yeah, same in principle, man. So your palms are facing this way. Other way. Yeah, we're from there. Bend the knees, keep the feet flat. Same deal, okay? Open up the fingers, and now bring the hips to the roof, tabletop. Head up, chest up, get that to the roof. You should feel a different type of stretch through the pec, through the shoulder, and keep squeezing triceps and rear delt. Push through your arms, push through the arms even more. Get that butt up even higher. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. It's all good. Get your composure. Bro, I know, it's hard.
Points are fucking serious, bro. Good gosh. What? Honestly, this one.
Does it feel like it does more for you?
This is harder. When I flip around this way, much easier.
Okay, like and so
like the support I feel
right.
I feel more of my scapula.
If I remember correctly, you are much better at external rotation than internal rotation. And so it shows itself even when you're training shoulder extension. Because remember, if you're an extension, you can have external here or internal here, right? Everyone does their stuff through here, does their stuff here, but nobody puts their arm behind them and then twists the arm behind them. You're able to train that rotation in extension, right? I mentioned earlier, like, oh, everyone does internal, external rotation. We're doing that here, but with shoulder extension in mind, right? And if you're like, damn, the external rotation's really hard for me, when you do this, you should probably start there.
Sure.
And then once you fatigue, internally rotate, go to your strengths. And so to recap real quick again, you have the freedom to have your hands internally rotated. Like if you wanted, you could be all the way here. We can have yourself here. We can have yourself start externally rotating, right? Or we can externally rotate like all the way back. And all it's doing is changing the way this tissue is pulling, right? And if you said, damn, external rotation, I am way more restricted, I'm way weaker there, fine. You use this tool to train external rotation for your shoulder. If a client tells you, damn, the internal rotation is very restricted, then just have them do that, right? You can kind of cater it to whatever you need. We did the tabletop work to hold yourself in extension. We're gonna start easing our way into like what is needed for a push-up or bench press. The push-up or bench press is shoulder extension, but with the elbow bent, right? I just had you do it with the elbow straight. Now we're gonna be doing it with the elbow bent. So it's a little bit different, like the dynamic you're doing. And so what you're gonna do for this is lay on the mat with your hands in this position. Okay, so essentially I'm like in a deficit push-up position, right? But right now, if I just lay here and keep my head on the floor, I feel my chest and the front of my shoulder stretching because I'm pulling myself into a passive stretch, right? Like I don't actually have this much range of motion. Without moving, what you're gonna do is start driving your fists, your palms into the blocks. So basically I'm like in this position and I'm trying to do this, but I can't because I'm pivoted against the blocks. You're doing an isometric contraction. So I'm here, I'm being blocked, and I'm trying to push. You're gonna feel the stretched pec start squeezing, like a transition in what it feels like. You're basically gonna be doing a pail and a rail. We talked about pails and rails to kind of open up a joint, right? So if you can't do 2 blocks, we're gonna have you here with 1. And the idea is that the head's down, you're gonna stretch for a bit, push the fists down. After I tell you to stop, you're gonna try to lift the fists up. And you see how now I'm lifting deeper into shoulder extension, how much I'm shaking there. And the idea is that when I push down, I felt the front of my shoulder squeeze. When I lift up, I feel the tension shift to the back of the shoulder. So you're squeezing stretched tissue, then you're squeezing shortened tissue. So I'm gonna have you put your forehead right on the mat there, and you're gonna have each block here. And I just wanna get a sense of what your mobility kind of looks like at the moment. You are free to like move the blocks down or out as you see fit. So right now in this position, do you feel your chest stretching? A lot or a little?
A little bit.
A little bit, okay. So we're gonna start with the 1 block right now, just to kind of get a sense of where is an appropriate starting point. So if you felt a really big stretch, I would tell you to spend time there, right? Just spend time stretching, it's all good. But because you don't feel a huge stretch, I'm gonna tell you to skip the stretch and start squeezing. So without moving anything, right? I don't want anything moving out of this position. Start pushing your palms down into the blocks. As you push down, you should feel your chest begin contracting. You're able to feel tension in the chest, the front of the shoulder.
Yep.
And if I were to come up and try to pick your hands up, I can't, right? Because you're applying downward pressure. Let's hold that. I have you on a timer. Let's say another 30 seconds. And what I want you to do is play around with the pressure you're applying through your hand, how much is through your thumb, how much is through the pinky, how much is through the palm. That's gonna change where the tension's kind of being placed in your chest. Keep squeezing, keep driving down. I'm trying to pick you up, I can't. You notice you start shaking a little bit because that's new territory. You got another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, but don't move. Now do the reverse and try to pick your hands up off the blocks. And when you do that, you're driving your elbows essentially to the roof, right? And when you do that, I want you to feel like rear delts and traps contracting. So do the reverse now and try to pick your hands up off the blocks. Just try, just try. Yes, hold, hold. Do you feel how the tension shifted from here and is now going to the shortened tissue? 100%. And you see how your hand is like barely clearing the blocks. Try to get up a little bit higher. You should feel a bigger squeeze here as you clear the hand from there. Hold, hold, and now relax, hands back on the blocks. That was crazy. You see what we did there? And so you notice how it was really hard for you to get your hands off the blocks. Now if I had a second block on stacked up, that's probably too deep for you, right? Because you wouldn't have been able to get your hand up at all. So it's a little bit outside your reach. You could find a way to break the difference by having something smaller, like a 2.5 pound plate right underneath the block, maybe a good way to prop you up a little bit more. But for right now, I want you to do the same thing again. So get a good grip on the blocks, open up your hand and really feel the hand pressure. Having good hand pressure is gonna help you engage your pecs a whole lot more. So for another round now, drive the hands down into the blocks. And as you drive the hands down, keep driving down. I want you to see that if you did this and you keep pushing down, do you see how that feels a little bit different? And then if you did this, that feels a little bit different. It's up to you what you do. If you like one position more than another, spend time in that position. And I can't tell you what you should do, right? Like I want you to feel it out. It's your shoulder. And if you like this one angle that you have the elbow at, cool, spend time there. And again, I'm trying to pick you up and you're applying downward pressure. You're trying to flex the shoulder out of the extended position and you feel the chest squeeze. Hold that, keep squeezing. You got, let's say another 30 seconds here. I want you to push as hard as you can, but keep that forehead down. You feel the chest engaging here. There's no shoulder pain either, right? Awesome. You got another 20 seconds, give me more tension. And I want you to just squeeze your pecs as hard as you can for another 15. Beautiful. See if you can give me a little bit more. Empty your gas tank. 10, 9, a max effort. 8, 7, good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Don't move a thing. Keep the elbows where they were. Now reverse. You're railing, right? You're squeezing instead of stretched tissue during the pail, squeeze shortened tissue during the rail. So lift the fists up, lift the elbows up. You see how you're higher than you were initially. You notice how there's way more space.
It felt easier.
Right? You can clear the blocks a little bit better. Hold that, keep holding it, keep holding it. 3, 2, 1, relax. Don't move a thing. I'm just gonna show you what 2 blocks would feel like. Now, if we get to a point where you're like, I don't like how that feels, that's fine, because I have you really deep right now. So you notice how if I asked you to do this, you're probably getting way more stretch going on, and you can see how that's probably a tad far for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna have you do this right now. I'm just showing you what it would look like. So let's get you out of that.
That was crucial.
That was hard, right? Really hard.
That extra block felt like
like a mountain, right? Yeah.
Legitimately.
And you know how we have different blocks here, how some blocks are like, they're a little shorter. So like I could see a world where if you wanted to stack 2 of the shorter blocks rather than 2 of these thicker ones, that's fine. You could even do one of these and then one of the shorter ones with it. But at the end of the day, the 1 block was a good starting point, but you noticed during the second round, you were able to get your hand like quite a bit further up.
Better muscle engagement.
Yeah, and you can get deeper into it. And so it's like one of those things that some people who watch videos, people on our school group, people in the gym that I show this stuff to, they'll do 1 round and then move on. But you noticed your second round, you got way more juice out of it, right? You got so much more out of it. So kind of pace yourself, ease your way into it. And you notice how with this one, we were training this tissue and this tissue, but the elbow is bent. When we started, we were doing it with the elbow straight. So it's kind of, it's the same thing, but it's different at the same time. Does that make sense? That's how we're gonna get you into shoulder extension for push-ups, bench press. You know, we worked on the rotation too. This is just another element to that. Thank you so much for watching the Bodybuilding Not Body Breaking YouTube channel. If you found it helpful, drop a comment, like, subscribe, share it with a friend or family. That stuff really helps us in expanding our reach to popularizing this training approach, because we know there just isn't a better way to do things. If you have interest in diving deeper into the stuff you just watched, feel free to join our school community. On our school community, we have a lot of additional content. We have an exercise library that has over 200 different movement options. We have programs. We have additional videos that are concepts, lectures, and rants to give you guys a deeper understanding as to how and why we do things. We also have a discussion board where you can get direct access to coaching feedback from me personally. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for additional updates for when we post new content. Thank you again for watching, and we hope it was of use to you.